Welcome back into the workshop for a small but maybe important update on the approach I'm using to create my MFT style of top. Of course, there are numerous people that have made their own MFT style of top, and some will function perfectly for their intended purpose. However, I've got a couple of little other issues in the workshop issues that I wanted to sort out by having as high a degree of accuracy as I'm able to achieve within this sort of workshop. One of the things was, when I got these bars made up, I deliberately got a long set of bars so that I could do a big 3-4-5ing method. In fact, it'll be a 9, 12, 15 spaced triangulation method, and this bar achieves a big chunk of that. So I need to make this row of holes the starting point upon which all the other parts of this setup will be generated, including the row out here, which will be 90 degrees, allowing me to use the fence that goes along this side to be 90 degrees to that side. Now, that's nothing new for track saws, and I've seen track saw systems and MFT combos, and I've watched so many of them, and they're dead accurate. But dead accurate and dead bloody accurate, maybe not always the same thing. And I've got a little bit of a higher demand on this, unfortunately, or fortunately, in the fact that I've got two layers, and both layers will have holes done in them that will want to register to hold it all together. That's not as simple as it sounds. It's not that complicated either, but I did note a small chance of introducing an error while drilling the holes that I wanted to try and eliminate. Anyway, cutting to the chase, this is what I'm doing. This set of holes, all I've done is I've aligned the edge of the bar 50 mils wide, so I've aligned the edge of the bar with the table all the way along, and it's quite nicely registered. And I've come in the end here to this first hole, 650. That is where my setup is required. Now what I do, I can mark with, I might not be able to get it, but I can mark with my drill small indents from the tip of the drill. That then allows me to mark all the holes that are possible along this bar, 16 holes, take it out, bring it up onto the drill press, and drill all of those holes. Initially, that was not what I was thinking of doing, but through a little bit of investigation, I have enabled myself to drill the 20mm holes, and I can insert stainless steel dowels that will act as a register for all other parts of this top. So yippee for that. That way I can, as I say, do all 16 holes. This will be the starting point that I register that one to, and down here at the 15th hole, or 15th space, actually it's not, the 10th space, I can then put the long bar in, and then I can come up here and it will then register to the 9th hole in 15, following? Anyway, so that's what we can achieve there. This bar, a bit woolly way of saying it, but this bar can be removed once all the holes have been drilled, because they are effectively as accurate as this bar is, those holes that is. And with the registration pins able to be utilised, I've got no downside in doing that, because I can put that bar onto this hole with the registration pin. Hey. That also means I can lower I don't have bars lapping on top of each other, throwing the possible alignment and accuracy out. So there's that. So that's what I was doing. That hole, that set of holes will be marked now, drilled out to 20 millimeters, pop back into place, and then I can carry on. I could actually leapfrog this over and drill the rest of the holes this way as well if I wanted. So there's that. All in all, quite happy with where we're going, but let's just see now if the theory and practice, how close they are, because that's one of my, what's I think, quote from Einstein. In theory and practice is the same. In practice, they're not. Well, they're often not. So this is what's going to happen here. What I think should happen may throw up an unknown. Okay, well that was a shortish one. That's what I wanted. This is where we're going. And then you'll see the next stage develop and you'll be going, aha, that's how it works. So this might be titled Stage 1 of the 3, 4, 5 squaring method. Be easier to find. That's the logic. Okay, that's it. I'm off. Probably go have a cup of tea before I do this, and I'll be back out and make another video. Until then, I'll see you later. Bye now.